What is up, 7-3 family? Welcome back to the 7-3 Garage. We got some cool stuff going on today. We got Frankie. We got Brad here from the West Coast. He's staying with me for the night. Well, he already stayed with me for the night, so he's here. Check his truck out. Frankie just got a new chip from Brian over at JELIBUILT Performance, so he's got some new tunes. We're going to be hooking that up today, show you how that goes and how we install that. Pretty straightforward. He's already got some stuff coming apart, so we're gonna go over there and take a look and see what we got going on. All right, so here is the fresh Hydra chip from Brian. Brian knows I love him. Good stuff, man, if I can get the box open. Brian's the man with 7.3 tuning. I got respect for other people, but Brian, his tunes are amazing. So there's our data port cable, so we can put tunes on with the Hydra chip. So a few cool features with the Hydra. They have these data ports on them, on the chip, so you don't have to keep pulling the chip off to keep tuning it or doing things like that. So it's actually pretty awesome, kind of convenient too. So Brian offers these. I think he offers or sells longer ones too if you want long ones. I don't know, if you want to tune from your neighbor's house, you can add a little bit of length, but pretty awesome. I mean, 6 feet's long enough. These are awesome. I need to get me one of these. I have an old Swamps Diesel one, but these are awesome. They have Brian's print on it, or his logo, I should say. This is the tune changer, the digital one. These are nice instead of having the knobs. The knobs are cool, but you kind of got to count in your head every time you have to change a tune. These are awesome because it just displays on there what tune you're in. We'll get into some of this stuff. If this is the first time you're installing a Hydra or a TS style chip, if you will, on your truck, it's pretty straightforward. This will get into this little Scotch-Brite pad. Here's the chip itself that already has tunes on it. Oh, Frankie's got the computer out already. So how'd you get that out? It's a 10 millimeter?
Just a 10 millimeter and then two 7 millimeters
okay.
Right here holding the bracket.
All right, cool. So we're gonna get into the proper way to do this, and we'll go from there. All right, so here we are at the table of the Last Supper. Anyhow, sorry, a little more. All right, so once you have your computer out, it's important to remember it orients with the X to the fender. I wrote it on there just to make sure we get it oriented right. So once you have your computer out, it's much easier on the Super Duties than the OBS trucks. The OBS trucks, you got to come out through the wheel well, and the Super Duties have this nice handy bracket you just kind of pulling out. So again, it's a 10 millimeter bolt that threads into here, and what are these, 7 millimeter?
Yeah,
you said on the inside, and it just comes right out. So it's pretty straightforward. For anyone who's curious about where to find your computer family, it's usually right here. So this is an NVK2 series. So when you go to buy the chip, the programmer or the tuner will ask you for your PCM family code. This is it. It's not this one. A lot of people use the DPC 422.
It's also on the back here.
Oh yeah, it is on the back too. Yeah. This face is out in the cab, right? So you can see. Okay. Yeah. So this little plastic will tell you. Actually, this is where the chip actually goes. So we're gonna take the top off here and show you how to get it apart. So it's pretty straightforward. And then we'll get all of our stuff hooked up. So this is a 7/32 quarter-inch drive socket. So this kind of just spins off here. I actually did this on a friend's truck who has an OBS, and his truck sat outside for a long time, and these like dry rotted off. Like I was breaking the heads off the bolts, getting the thing off, dude. Like the computer was like, you could see water, like water was sitting on the computer. It was pretty bad.
Yeah. So you just put it back in, just like,
yep.
We're not tuning it.
Yeah, I'm like, forget it, it's all right. Just an important side note, when you're taking these off, or taking these out, I should say, or working with electronics, try to use a surface that doesn't conduct static electricity. That's why we came inside and used the wood table or concrete, anything like that.
And air conditioning.
And air conditioning, because it's hot out in South Florida, so it definitely makes it a lot easier to do.
It's hot and we consumed alcohol last night.
Yeah, it's extra hot when you consume alcohol. Yeah, so when you get these out, just kind of keep them close. And again, be careful. This is the brain of your truck. Just make sure you don't drop these or lose these.
Autistic.
Yeah, slightly autistic. So, whoops. I already broke something. Alright, so this will start to come off. I don't know if you can. Just take your time when you do this. It's worth the time and effort. Instead of just kind of doing it half-assed. Some people try to do this with it in the truck. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I highly recommend you don't do that. You'll get poor connection, poor cleaning of the terminals. This computer is virgin as far as I know. Like, what I mean by that is it's never had a chip on it. He's had a programmer on it, like through an OBD2 connection, but it's not I don't think, as far as I know, it's never had a chip on it.
No chip. Stock.
All right, so it's stock.
All stock.
It's all downhill from here.
It is. Once you get the taste of the power, it's not a good. All right, so we'll get this apart. All right, so this will come off top now. All right, so once you have it off, you're good to go. Yeah, throw a little water on it. So what we're gonna want to do is come down here, and this should just pop right out of here. This little dust cover. Now be careful because the computer is actually gonna be separated. So as you can see, I don't know how well you can see it, but the terminals here, let me see if I can get it to focus. Actually, there we go. Actually has like a glue on it, top and bottom. So when you take your Scotch-Brite pad, you want to get in here and basically get rid of that glue and have just like a little bit of copper showing on both sides. Underneath's a little bit more challenging. This whole thing might even separate. Oh yeah, so we can get to the underside. But again, you got to be careful with all this. Don't stick screwdrivers and try and do some kind of crazy shit to scrape it off. All the Hydra kits come with a piece of Scotch-Brite, and it works pretty well. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and we'll come back in just a second and show you what it should look like. All right, so we have the terminals cleaned off here, and just so everybody knows, this actually will separate. Just be very careful when you take it apart. So basically, this is how it should look. The directions say you don't want too much copper showing. I usually go till I can just have like a small hint of a color change in this, and then I basically stop. So you can see on both sides, the silicone is all gone, so this is ready to go. But again, this will separate from the computer. I'm sorry, we'll separate from the housing, the whole actual board and PCM. All right, so once you have this apart, next you want to take your chip, get some of this stuff out. This is our data cable. Ooh, little zip tie. This we don't need anymore. All right, here is our, another zip tie. Here's our data port, and here's our cable. That's for the, where is that? I'll put that over there. That's for that. All right, so the bag it comes in is a static bag, so that silverish kind of colors, so it doesn't short out. But again, be careful when you're taking this thing apart. Just kind of open the bag up, get the chip out. Now, if you order these new, I didn't realize because I bought mine separate, and then I had Brian email me tunes, but he'll actually burn these for you, so it'll be burned when you get it, which is nice. So, all right, so here's our chip, and basically the way it orients is as such, right? Obviously there's no connection this way, but our connection is underneath here on this side. All right, so when you put this in, kind of be careful. You basically slide it up underneath, and you're gonna press it on. I usually grab it on the outside here. Let me see if I can get a better picture. And then kind of just slowly push it on, and then take it and grab it in the middle, and you'll feel it stop. Once it stops, it's in. You don't have to force it. That's basically it. It just piggybacks right on to the computer itself. So the next thing to do is we're gonna take our data cable off here. If I can get the rubber band off, let the rubber band beat me. I believe you can go either way with this. But here's your connections on either side. One's gonna go to the actual changer, and the other one is gonna go to the chip itself. So kind of get that oriented how you'd like. I'm knocking stuff over here. So this will come in like this. I might have to, let's see, there we go. All right, so this will come in, and then the plug is on the back side here of the chip. So again, be careful with the connection. Kind of just feel where the chip, where it's gonna wanna plug in. Also here, there's a kind of like a little dowel or guide, if you will, on both sides, so you know that this is oriented the right way. It can only go in one way. Let's get it plugged in. Make sure this is all, what, you got a concert going on over there?
Snapchat.
All right, so we have this. Now this is plugged in. Again, just gentle pressure. You don't have to go crazy with it. If it's plugged in, it's probably fine. All right, so now we're gonna use the 6-foot data cable to plug this in. I feel like mine is different on mine, unless I'm just living in the freaking past with mine, which could be the case. So just undo this little tie here. No big deal. So this one has a right angle connector. The one that it comes with is a straight on one if you're gonna, use it somewhere else, but the right angle is for this. So you kind of slide this in here without breaking something. Will this come through? No.
The corner right there.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Try that out.
I still want to break something out. You know what? Instead of just
pop the chip out.
I'm gonna pop the chip out, stick this in first, and then we're gonna do this. Make it easy. 2 seconds. All right, put the chip back on. right, so that's on now. And then this plugs straight in here on an angle. It's kind of nice. All right, so this is all plugged in. Basically, this is ready to go. Kind of make your stuff neat. Some people actually take a piece of duct tape and duct tape this over so everything stays kind of together. And then reassembly is basically the same thing. You get your dust cover back on it, put your bolts back in, and basically reinstall it back into the truck. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and go back out in the garage and get this thing installed. Okay, so we have the computers back in the holder. We have our tune changer we're gonna get on in a second. What we had to do here was, I just used a pair of tin snips and kind of cut this so there's no pressure on that line. And there's no pressure on the actual changer line, I guess, if you will. I'm not using the right terminology, but there's no pressure on that. I kind of have that nice and folded over, so it's okay. So Frankie's gonna go ahead and reinstall that, and we're gonna get it plugged back in. We should be ready for a test here in a second. The nice thing about the Hydra chips, and the reason why I condone them, or I promote them, I should say, is that it's a TS style chip. Basically, it's the way that it mounts, they call it a TS style chip, but you have the ability for a tuner, or really anybody, to email you tunes without changing, or I'm sorry, without pulling the computer out every time to take the chip off and send it out to get reburnt. You use your data cord, which is right here, and you basically plug into your laptop, your computer, and you download the new tunes right onto your chip, and it's done. So the ease of changing tunes, running different tunes is awesome. I think are these 15 position? I forgot the memory on these.
Yeah,
so 15?
these are 15 position.
Okay, so you can hold 15 different kinds of tunes on here. That's more than enough. I only have 6, he only has 6. You can really do whatever you'd like, but it is very nice to have. So I always recommend, when people ask me, I always recommend doing these. But pretty straightforward install. And we will be ready for a startup here in just a couple minutes when we get everything tightened back up. All right, so we have the computers in, the data ports connected. How tight did you go with that? With the 10 mil, you just do it till it's snug, basically, right?
Till it's snug. And
you don't have to go crazy with it. So we're looking at some mounting options here.
Yeah, we're thinking here.
Probably here.
Here.
Or on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
The steering wheel might be good, so it's right in front of you.
Yeah,
so
easy
you don't have to
access,
worry
you
about
know?
it. The only thing I'd be concerned with is
nothing.
So we're gonna get that plugged in, and we're gonna turn it over and see how everything does, basically. Did I give you the Velcro? Oh, let me get the Velcro. Sorry, this is a little bit of a mess in here, but all right. So Velcro. It's a Ford powerhouse today. Oops.
Very indecisive on this here, you know.
I think that should be good. Wherever you want.
Do you possibly need to light up back here?
What do you got back there?
A big ass light bar.
Full-size light bar, huh?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's
Why
lit.
can't I get this freaking... There we go. Show us what we got. Holy Moses. Can you not see at night when you back up? Oh, he's turning it on and off. There you go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you like that? Woo.
This is like a 20-year difference in Ford technology. So you got a 2019, 99, I keep forgetting.
99.
99 and 97. All in the Powerstroke family. All right, how are we looking over here? So Frankie's gonna get it mounted up as clean as possible. It's always been a habit of mine to, when I install something, especially like this, I don't like to reassemble everything. If something's gonna be backwards or wrong, I wanna make sure that's just a habit of mine, but.
Right here, man.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We'll go next to that one. Little hidden, I guess. Yeah, we're doing it. I mean, there's no turn.
I put mine over there.
Oh. Now you tell. Now
you
you
just
ch-
plug it in
now
so
you-
we can start it up and make
now
sure
you
it
chime
works.
in.
You guys are arguing about mounting options here.
Now you chime in and tell me. All right, it's going here.
Okay,
Good luck.
done deal.
Yeah, that's gonna be really nice. When
So what do you, so all you have basically is an intake on your truck, exhaust. You have you're running through a muffler on yours as well?
Yeah, just.
Okay, so it's got a muffler.
How's that going?
a muffler.
Only goes in one. You have to flip this. See the dowel lines up.
Yep, I see it.
Oh, dude, running light delete or what?
Yeah, no running lights. Who needs them?
No, I mean the fender light.
Oh, and the
delete.
fender, yeah, that's custom. He likes the airflow into the dually fender. Kind of helps with the mileage,
Somebody punched in his fucking gas cap too.
basically. Just make sure when you do this that it doesn't get pinched, the wires, because these trucks do shake a lot. But when it's, I have had an issue with them, like shutting off and stuff, and it was literally because of the line being pinched, and it chafed through the wires, and it was actually on a metal part, and on the metal part under the dash, and it was shorting out. and the truck wouldn't stay running. It was the weirdest thing. We couldn't figure it out.
All right.
All right, so cycle your key. Do you have your
That's why I said put it over there.
you have your tune list?
I do.
Is it over there? I just want to make
First
sure.
one is high idle. So.
Okay, well you don't want to start it really on. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but hold on. Let's see. Hey, where did we put that thing? It's probably in the house.
Just guess and check.
Let me go check and see. All right, so we located the list. That just slipped my mind. So, so again, yeah, it is 15 positions, but these are Frankie's tunes. It's got high idle, tow performance, economy, daily driver, hot street, and drag ripper. So he's going to keep it in the 6th position all the time.
Yeah, that. These mean nothing.
That's
Number
it,
6.
it's just straight up.
We could have just got one.
Position 6.
We don't even need 15 positions.
All right, so once you have everything in, this is going to be the telltale sign of the key point when you go to start it up. Make sure everything's good. So cycle the key. You should see the come up. So it'll flash PHP, and it'll come up. So he has it set to default to the first tune, which is the tow performance. So go ahead and fire it up, and we'll see how if it runs or if it does start.
All right. We did something right.
We did something right. Now, if you drop this down, it should high idle. There we go.
Okay.
So the high idle is pretty cool. It's for warming up and stuff, which is pretty awesome. Just make sure we'll roll through them to make sure they're good. So that's high idle. This is tow performance. This is economy and mileage. Yeah, so what Brad just pointed out, the difference in the idle is usually a changing in the timing, changing in the mapping of how the truck runs. So in the hotter tunes, you'll hear it idle a little bit quicker. So that's what position 4. That's our daily driver. There's our hot street. Flip the throttle real quick. I want to see how the RPMs come up. Okay. And there's our drag rippers. That's our race tune. So let's try the daily driver. We'll take that one around the block in just a few minutes and see how that does. All right, so that's basically it. Chip's installed. Frankie likes it. Truck looks good. You guys got the Ford Powerhouse here. You got my truck. Brad's extra sweet 2019 F-250. Super jealous. It's just such a big truck. It's such a big ass truck. I mean, I feel like mine is not really big. It's kind of like average size. Frankie's is definitely big. He's got the big girl. But Chip runs awesome. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Drop a comment below. Happy to answer them as always. What else? Again, thanks to Brian. Dude, you're the man. Always. Again, Brian Jelich. Sorry. Gotta make sure the pronunciation's correct. JELIBUILTPerformance.com is where we got the chip from, or where Frankie got the chip from. And I think that's it. Again, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, subscribe, like, comment, all the above.
All of the above.
All of the above. And we will be back soon with some more content for you guys. Thanks for watching. It's the 7-3 Garage.